Topic: 2019 is the year of history, not the year of pandemic. Full documentary movie number 4. Subtopic: Investigation. Our December 10, 2020 post in relation to the Turkey earthquake. Investigation criteria 21. Instructor: The Goodness International Observatory and Pandemic Tracker, 7.7 billion Physicists, USA. Series: Educational documentary movie and awareness creation about earthquake. On April 6, 01, Sarachism blessed all 7.7 billion individuals as spiritually born again. That was due to the goodness, pre-pandemic warning given by God. When we established anti-pandemic initiative on April 6, 2019, April 6, 00, nobody knew it was by the will of God. December 31, 2019 changed our perception forever. All humanity was in new era. Our proposal has evolved from being a theoretical idea to becoming an actual real-time protection mechanism, surpassing its initial predictive capabilities. The only successful initiative in our planet with confidential evidence. December 31, 2019 was the date the first COVID-19 666 was reported for the World Health Organization. In addition, our proposal, the only anti-pandemic proposal and initially just a sheet of paper, transformed into a message from God. Our proposal has left an everlasting impact on the world, forever changed the way of a possible catastrophe. It is now perceived as a foresight warning message from higher powers, rather than a bare document. To consolidate our message, it is enough to mention only 4 points. 1. We created our special website to fight a 40 and future pandemic on December 31, 2019. It was the same day the first report about the pandemic in Wuhan came out. That was only 12 days from the first death caused by COVID-19 666. 2. As a New Year's remark, we shared a strong message to the whole world concerning the pandemic on January 1, 2020. The most amazing New Year anti-pandemic remark ever seen in any of human history. This occurred 11 days prior to the first COVID-19 666th death. 3. We are the only anti-pandemic initiative having 31 anti-pandemic posts in December month 2019 only. That is almost one anti-pandemic message per day. On those days even the new pandemic wasn't reported for the World Health Organization. 4. We are the only anti-pandemic initiative with more than 900 pre-pandemic warning, awareness, and response anti-pandemic posts from April 6, 2019 to April 6, 2022. Our plan for 2020 was to connect many educational institutions to our artificial intelligence and robotics anti-pandemic and health clubs in the USA, which is run by artificial intelligence. Regrettably, the outbreak of the new pandemic, COVID-19 666, has caused significant disruptions. We are proud of the only initiative that has the evidence of God. We blessed 7.7 billion individuals before the new pandemic became world number 1 pandemic. That was on April 6, 01, April 6, 2020, just 1 year from our establishment. Our first year anniversary occurred just a month following the World Health Organization's declaration of COVID as a worldwide pandemic. On March 11, 2020, COVID-19 was officially declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization. On December 10, 2020, only 8 months after the declaration of COVID-19 as pandemic, we posted an extraordinary post. Nobody expected an initiative like us. Another simple indication of our proposal was sent from God. Our proposal was perceived by certain individuals as biased. However, we achieved another achievement regarding the events that unfolded at the Turkey-Syrian border on February 6, 2023. How can our December 10, 2020 post be connected with the Turkey-Syrian earthquake? Our December 10, 2020 post was a watch party about planetary conjugation. Is planetary conjugation related with seismic activity on Earth? Why the Goodness Initiative? 7.7 billion physicists classify our December 10, 2020 post as a life-saving post. Imagine this post was published in the mid of a new pandemic with no variant was reported by this time. As we mentioned in many of our previous videos, our proposal was a multi-objective proposal that related to pandemic but only one goal: no pandemic for the future generation. We strive to reduce the damage caused by natural calamities like earthquakes, fight drug addiction, prevent conflicts, increase the green cover of the Earth, and make physics and AI learning accessible to everyone. All the things mentioned are closely connected to the pandemic. The Goodness Initiative holds that any factor leading to poverty has effects on the spread of a global pandemic that has remained for 40 years. Countries experiencing high rates of pandemic spreading rate often show substantial levels of poverty. This is because people living in poverty may not have access to adequate healthcare, education, and resources to prevent infection. Consequently, a significant connection exists between poverty and the dissemination of pandemics. The Goodness is hosting a watch party at Balboa Park in San Diego on December 10, 2020. The event aims to raise awareness about planetary geometry and its possible connection to earthquakes. It also encourages educational institutions to organize the Goodness AI and Robotics Health Clubs. When we tried to arrange a club watch party, the majority of the Siriatia Ms. 13 supporters did not show their support. They have a wrong understanding of studying about the planet. They think as a luxury activity was prevalent among them. However, the truth is that studying the planet is crucial for our understanding of the world we live in. By learning about the planet, we gain insights into its ecosystems, climate patterns, and the impact of human activities. This knowledge helps us make informed decisions and take actions to protect the environment and ensure a sustainable future for ourselves and future generations. And also for our future survival and the well-being of all living beings. Early detection of natural disasters can reduce the death and loss of money. It is not a luxury, but rather a necessity for creating a sustainable and friendly world. Therefore, studying the planet should be regarded as an essential attempt rather than a luxury. 75 people from a social media group have reported about our December 10, 2020 program to the authorities, claiming that it is dishonest. They had concerned about the watch party we hosted on December 10, 2020. Being labeled as biased does not have any correlation or relevance to the current pandemic situation. The video editor we hired to create our video on the Favre platform has been dismissed from his work. Or the person is being constrained to not work with the Goodness Initiative. The majority of the people who support us refuse to cooperate with our project. Most international media that were united with us in 2019 stopped suddenly. The discrimination in question went further than just recognizing a job done correctly. Because of their report, we faced restrictions from any social media. After this time, our activities were limited due to the media's coverage. It was in the mid of the new pandemic. Imagine, if you will, an enormous and groundbreaking anti-pandemic initiative that is unparalleled in scope. What sets it apart is the fundamental limitation that it is not permitted to utilize any form of media for its implementation. This scenario makes us consider different strategies to fight a global health crisis without using the usual communication methods. The video we made to display an exciting watch party centered around the mesmerizing phenomenon of planetary conjunction. The experience was interesting and educational, focusing on the importance of earthquake awareness for San Diego and California residents. Although we had some prior knowledge about the relationship between planetary alignment and seismic activity, we were uncertain about the exact nature of this correlation prior to our post on December 10, 2020. Geologists believe that earthquakes can be caused by seismic activities that are influenced by the arrangement of planets in the solar system. This belief suggests that the positions and interactions of planets may have an impact on the occurrence and intensity of earthquakes on Earth. However, it is important to note that this is a controversial theory and not widely accepted among the scientific community. More research and evidence are needed to fully understand how the positions of planets are related to earthquakes. Over the past few years, there have been remarkable technological developments for anticipating earthquakes, which include taking advantage of satellite information and cutting-edge computer simulations. These techniques help predict earthquakes better, so people can be prepared and prevent loss of life. However, earthquake prediction still remains an imperfect science, and there is much research to be done in order to improve our ability to forecast earthquakes. In the past, earthquake forecasting focused on studying past earthquakes and the movements of tectonic plates and fault lines on our planet. The Goodness's supporters think our actions on December 10, 2020 were not unreasonable, but rather enlightening. They believe our actions can help raise awareness about natural disasters, like earthquakes, and also provide creative ideas and extra activities for everyone. California and San Diego are located in an area with significant seismic activity due to the presence of two major fault lines passing through the region. There are over 15,000 faults that have been identified in California, according to geologists. More than 500 of those faults are classified as active. The reason for this is that California is located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where there is a lot of tectonic activity. As a result, there are many faults throughout the state, and many people live in proximity to them. This means that earthquakes are a common occurrence in California and residents need to always be prepared for potential seismic activity. The San Andreas Fault and the Rose Canyon Fault are the two primary fault lines found in San Diego. The San Andreas Fault runs through the eastern portion of the city, while the Rose Canyon Fault is situated in the downtown region of San Diego. The Rose Canyon Fault is located near the coast and runs beneath the downtown region of San Diego City. It is an active fault that poses a potential risk for earthquakes in the area. The fault's proximity to highly populated areas raises concerns for the safety of the residents and infrastructure in San Diego. The fault line in San Diego is very dangerous and could cause powerful earthquakes measuring up to 6.9 on the Richter scale, according to physicists. The magnitude of the 6.9 scale exceeds the one that took place in Turkey on February 6, 2023. Media reports say there might be a big earthquake with a magnitude of 6.9 in San Diego. This could affect around 100,000 people. The fact that the most effective anti-pandemic initiative in the world is being punished for not using social media to raise awareness and save lives through updates is difficult to comprehend. Imagine, no variants of the COVID-19 666 were identified during that specific time on December 10, 2020. We need a serious recognition and a fair evaluation without any prejudice. Instead of a reward, punishment was our Man of All-Time award even if we showed up our evidence. Destroying our evidence or terminating our 2019 post was our honorable PhD from universities. Advising almost all media, the CEO, and authorities not to announce or cooperate with the goodness, Sirachism was our Nobel Prize. Always giving new conditions not to recognize became our reward. We have spent a precious amount of time and energy fighting for 4 years to gain the recognition we deserve. We need the right judgment because we felt oppressed by the international community, particularly from the UN. We live in a society where the rule of law is the governing principle. However, it is unfortunate that sometimes dishonesty and deception can also be protected because of grouping. Our goal was not only to promote knowledge about pandemics, physics, and AI, but also to draw attention to the fact that natural catastrophes can worsen the spread of a 40-year pandemic. At this point, it is crucial for us to conduct a thorough investigation, particularly regarding our post on December 10, 2020. It is actually quite good, despite needing some encouragement to tackle this kind of task. Even if we were expected encouragement, instead restrictions became our lunch. Sharing such a message before the pandemic became a major global health crisis is truly remarkable. The World Health Organization identified the first variant of COVID-19 in January 2021. So preparing such a kind of event wasn't really dangerous, as long as we followed the necessary safety precautions and guidelines. Due to the ongoing pandemic, we explicitly instructed all participants to limit gatherings to a maximum of 5 individuals at any given place. This precautionary measure was implemented to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone involved. However, a possible variant was expected at this point according to Dr. Cyrek Fauci. And also we advised all of our supporters to respect the local, the CDC and the WHO guidelines. It is difficult for us to understand why we are considered biased by others because it goes beyond what we can imagine. Any responsible body can now find out what happened on the Turkey and Syrian border on February 6, 2023, especially in relation to our post from December 10, 2020, 3 years from the accident. The statement suggests that there might be a connection between the alignment of planets and the accurate forecasting of the earthquake in Turkey. The most fascinating part of our December 10, 2020 post, look what followed. The Turkey and Syrian earthquake happened 3 years after our watch party on December 10, 2020. The watch party was about planetary geometry and aimed to create awareness worldwide. The most amazing thing is it was distributed for all educational institutions in every corner of the world. On April 6, 2021, during our New Year celebration, we announced that our initiative, previously known as the Goodness Initiative in the United States, has changed its name to 7.7 billion Physicists or TIOPT, USA. Our goal was to gain recognition for our extraordinary and remarkable achievements. Moreover, raising awareness about naturally occurring phenomena that may contribute to the seismic activity of the Earth and subsequently result in earthquakes. As well as to draw public attention to our brilliant cause of ensuring a pandemic-free future for all of humanity. We made this choice on a momentous occasion in the Sarachism calendar on the 1st of January 2002, commemorating 2 years of mankind's Victory Day. The day signified the inauguration of a new beginning for all individuals, marking the commencement of a new year in the Sarachism era. 4 Arab countries recognizing Israel in the same month is a clear sign of the strong support that Sarachism has from both Israel and the Arab countries. Before this announcement, we contacted several universities in both the Arab and Israeli regions. On April 6, 2002, many people around the globe were recognized and honored with the name of Physicist, due to their courageous efforts to fight against the COVID-19 666 pandemic. 7.7 billion physicists or TIOPT in the USA have reported that all 7.7 billion individuals have exhibited bravery in their struggles with COVID-19 666. April 6 to 7, 2002, coinciding with the second anniversary of Sarachism, Saudi Arabia made a groundbreaking announcement of a peace agreement with Iran. The Saudi announcement and our New Year occurring at the same time cannot be seen as a mere coincidence. On April 6, 2003, 7.7 billion physicists celebrated our 3-year anniversary. We renewed their dedication to unite AI, robotics, health clubs, and religious organizations under Sarachism, 7.7 billion followers. Let's go back to the Turkey and Syria issue. Only 2 months left for our 4-year anniversary on April 6, 2023. On February 6, 2023, a devastating incident occurred at the border between Turkey and Syria. Without exception, each one of the 7.7 billion individuals, physicists responded in their usual way. Right on February 3, 2023, 3 days before the accident, a distinguished physicist marked an exceptional moment in the new era of Sarachism. A lead physicist named Siracinchoviskovich Hugerbits, who is also an ecclesiastical father for Sarachism, achieved a victory for all humanity. A Dutch seismologist recognized by his real name, Frank Hugerbits. 3 days prior to the Turkey-Syria earthquake on February 3, he made a successful prediction never seen in any human history. Our evidence is still found on his Twitter site. The achievement was not only for physicist Frank Hugerbits or his group of people, but for every single person in the world, with a population of 7.7 billion. Particularly his innovative Remembered Us our December 10, 2020 publication posted 3 years before the accident, during the new pandemic. Frank Hugerbits used his own technique to analyze geological data from different regions of the world and carried out a computer simulation to do so. He used cosmic movements and volcano activity data to predict seismic activity on Earth exactly. The most achievable prediction next to 7.7 billion physicists in Sarachism new era. Many people from 7.7 billion physicists trying to differentiate the prediction of Siracinchoviskovich Hugerbits in 2023 with Siraki Negatu's pandemic prediction in 2019. The Goodness shared many posts against the pandemic between April 6, 2019 and December 31, 2019, to fight the challenges caused by this 40-year and future pandemics. The future pandemic was already arrived in a matter of a month, a week, a day, even overlap with the first report of COVID-19 666. The Goodness anti-pandemic remark on the Western New Year was amazing. The prediction made by Frank Hugerbits and Negatu Siraki is similar in many ways, according to 7.7 billion physicists. Both predictions were remarkable, unusual and life-saving prediction happened in Sarachism new era. It exceeded any of the ideas, creativity, and innovation that happened for the last 100 years. Because saving lives is more than ideas, creativity, and innovation. Plus our idea, creativity, and innovation was accompanied by 7.7 billion angels. It is impossible for anyone to dispute the worthiness of our work. Given the undeniable evidence supporting our statement, denying our achievements would be equivalent to denying the divine. Another amazing thing, the catastrophic event happened on February 6, 2023, was during a time when artificial general intelligence, AGI, was beginning to emerge in human history in Sirachism new era. The event mentioned happened only 4 months following the launch of ChatGPT-3, which is widely regarded as a young AGI. Let's go back to Frank Hoogerbeets. Many famous physicists are interested in Frank Hoogerbeets' accurate earthquake predictions because they believe in the great benefits that advanced earthquake forecasting techniques can provide. It is widely acknowledged that he possesses remarkable skills in this particular field. According to the USA Geological Survey, on February 6, 2023, produced some information. The earthquake that happened in Turkey and Syria had a magnitude of 7.8 and was caused by the movement of 2 tectonic plates. This movement resulted in a strike-slip earthquake, which is characterized by horizontal movement along a fault line. The area where the geological event happened in south-central Turkey already had 3 tectonic plates sliding along a fault zone. At this point, anyone can imagine what causes the tectonic plate to slide, overlap, twist, strike slip, and cause seismic wave. Can the planetary conjugation increase the seismic activity on Earth? How can planetary geometry affect the seismic activity? That is the next great job for seismologists like Frank H. etc. In another development, another geologist group, the Adıyaman Union of Architects and Engineers, had submitted a report to the government 1 year before the accident in southern Turkey. Adıyaman highlighted the importance of revising construction regulations, given that construction errors hold the potential of causing severe damages. The earthquake can cause severe destruction in the area, leading to the disintegration of buildings and other essential structures. However, many geologists indicated that although they were aware of the likelihood of an earthquake in southeast Turkey, natural disaster like earthquake is still impossible to predict with certainty, as emphasized in the media warnings. It is nearly impossible to accurately predict seismic activity, specifically, activities rated 7 and higher. Sirachinkoviskovic Hoogerbeets stands out as the only lead physicist who has accurately predicted a major earthquake. During the accident, lead physicist Siraç Kaku's group was the first to appreciate his unprecedented prediction skills. The most amazing life-saving prediction ever seen. Sirachism's life-saving efforts have left a remarkable impact on the world, and his memory will never be forgotten by its 7.7 billion followers, Sirachism. In other prediction news, the Chamber of Geology received a report from an engineer with earthquake predictions and recommended steps to be taken, 5 months before the earthquake hit Turkey and Syria. However, despite having received accurate predictions and warnings from local authorities, there were still individuals who were unable to evacuate. According to the evaluation conducted by the TheGOODNESS International Observatory and Pandemic Tracker, USA, despite being warned to evacuate beforehand, the incident still occurred. According to the TheGOODNESS International Observatory and Pandemic Tracker, USA, research, infrastructure errors are leading for buildings to collapse. The building collapse was the leading cause of death, which was a common concern among many. In this global incident, a total of more than 7 million people were affected by related accidents. More than 60,000 people died and 300,000 were injured. According to many, if Frank Hoogerbeets' scientific predictions and warning doesn't exist, the death could rise up to 100,000 people. Imagine how many people save with the exact prediction. But why those people neglected Frank Sirachinkoviskovic's prediction and chose death? According to the report and suggestion from many people, media, geologists, lead physicists, engineers, and 7.7 billion physicists, TheGOODNESS appointed 5 reasons. 1. Despite issuing warnings, the efforts made by local universities and the government to create awareness and prepare for the situation were insufficient. 2. During the warning period, Many low-income families living in weak infrastructure were unable to relocate or find new housing options. 3. In 2019, the Goodness Anti-Pandemic AI and Robotics Club, USA warned all universities, colleges, and schools to organize the Goodness's AI and Robotics Anti-Pandemic Health Clubs. But no, the Goodness AI and Robotics Clubs are organized in Turkey and Syria. Our idea was to create awareness during such kind of accident. For this, our December 10, 2020 post was good evidence. Based on the Goodness's impressive anti-pandemic guidelines in 2019, the majority of universities were operating at suboptimal levels. Universities have a great influence, which goes beyond international organizations like WHO and UN. Their power resides in their ability to oversee various aspects of the world. Universities play a crucial role in shaping global agendas, conducting groundbreaking research, and educating future generations, thus impacting the world on a deeper level. 4. Frank's exact prediction was only 3 days from the accident. It was a short time to alert all residents at the same time. 5. The last earthquake that Turkey experienced was in 1939 in a different region of the country. As a result, the current generation has limited experience in dealing with earthquakes. In conclusion, according to the Goodness, humanity is excelling in predicting the future, especially in Sirachism's new era. All can surpass the evidence for the reserve of God. Top 3 incredible predictions and predictors that amazed the world and made evaluation exceptional. These predictions have never been seen before, and we are excited to unveil them to you. The 3 famous predictors in Sirachism new era. The 3 Sirachism heroes are the following. 1. Brazilian Sirachov Athos predicted the Qatar World Cup correctly. The prediction was before any of the Qatar games started. France versus Argentina would play. Argentina would win. As he predicted, Argentina won the game, according to Brazilian media. Sirachov Athos was skilled in the field of football analysis. He possessed a strong understanding of the sport and had the ability to provide insightful and accurate assessments of games, teams, and players. His expertise and analytical abilities made him a valuable asset in football history. The Qatar World Cup was accurately predicted by a total of 22 individuals. What makes him stand out is the fact that he is Brazilian, and Brazil used to be at the top of the FIFA ranking. And also all players were in good condition and all were professional with good performance. He surprised everyone by confidently predicting that Argentina, Brazil's soccer arch-rivals, would win. 2. A Dutch physicist Sirachino Viscovich Hugerbeets predicted Turkey's earthquake before 3 days the occurrence. 3. In 2019, since 8 months from the new pandemic, the United States of America Siraki Negatu predicted COVID-19 666 exactly. In fact, a total of 11 people from different parts of the world predicted that COVID-19 666 could be dangerous. However, Siraj Negatu's prediction is unlike anything ever seen in human history. The only person who has stretched his own World Health System led by AI and planned to build a social media that assumed to improve the world healthcare system by another 100%. That is since April 6, 2019, since 8 months before the first report of COVID-19 666. Copy 1. California Police, Sacramento, California, USA. 2. San Diego Police, San Diego, California, USA. 3. Citywide Security, San Diego, California, USA. 4. Family Health Care Clinic, San Diego, California, USA. 5. Nobel Prize Office, Stockholm, Sweden. 6. Twitter CEO, Silicon, Siraj Valley, CA, USA. 7. Facebook CEO, Silicon, Siraj Valley, CA, USA. 8. African Union, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. 9. European Union, Brussels, Belgium. 10. South America Union, Quito, Ecuador. 11. Asian Unity, Bangkok, Thailand. For more information, meet Negatu Siraki. His remarkable talent in accurately predicting pandemics has earned him widespread recognition. He possessed strong intuition that helped him foresee such outbreaks. He possessed an exceptionally proactive approach towards pandemic prevention and control. Since April 6, 2019, his remarkable efforts to persuade the global community to take preventive measures against past and future pandemics have been truly awe-inspiring. That was before the outbreak of the new pandemic, COVID-19. 666.
$1549 El Prado, San Diego, California 92101. Sponsored by The Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club USA, in collaboration with the Goodness Affiliative Initiatives, Mind for Africa, Mind for South America, Mind for America, Mind for Asia, and Mind for Europe. Topic: A rare astronomical event. Planetary observation, December 21, 2020. Saturn, Jupiter. A most great planetary conjunction 800 years. A great conjunction 397 years. Great conjunction every 20 years. Message for all the goodness artificial intelligence and robotics health clubs all over the world. We are happy of presenting this kind of event for the entire The Goodness AI and robotics health clubs all around the world. First of all, we want to congratulate that we have expanded from 48 to 65 countries with a total of 112 artificial intelligence and robotics health clubs in different private and public universities, colleges, and schools. The Goodness AI and robotics health clubs are the first anti-pandemic and technological clubs organized or have planned to organize since a few months before the existing new pandemic, COVID-19. Hopefully, at the end of 2021, we expected millions of educational institutes will have been connecting with the Goodness AI Robotics Health Club USA, under one and only one goal: end of pandemic in action or no pandemic for future generation. Of course, our primary objective is upgrading maths and physics skills of the local people. According to our club, a student with high maths and physics skills, when grow up, can learn by themselves so that can protect themselves from old pandemic. In this respect, the Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club, USA, is proud of presenting this rare astronomical event for our members, supporters, and the entire world. This astronomical event can be seen by naked eyes every 20, 397, and 800 years. However, the Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club will arrange telescope for better understanding at Balboa Park, San Diego, California, right next to the fountain. The Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club, in all 112 universities, colleges, and schools, especially maths and physics teachers, will have been doing the same thing in corresponding universities, colleges, and schools. The teachers expected to explain about the event for the school community before December 21, 2020. The teachers shall encourage the school community to watch our collection videos on Facebook. We posted on our collection site for this purpose at If the Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club found in elementary schools, may students need more explanatory about planetary motion besides great planetary conjunction. The Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club is the union of math, physics, and health club of the school. The director, the WHO, and the local health expert are supervisors. The head of the club or the directors shall consult the local health experts to make sure such kind of program is safe from new pandemic, COVID-19. If the Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club found in USA, we have to refer CDC guideline and in addition to state. The Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club, USA. Note 1. For all universities, colleges, and schools, those do not organize the Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club can follow similar procedure. Note 2. If this message reached Ministry of Education of a country, regional, or district educational office, please distribute our message for every university, college, and school. Note 3. Are you maths and physics teacher and know the Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club in your university, college, and school? It is time to change your working environment to practical settings and stand by our Facebook site for future updates. Our The Goodness group site is. Note 4. According to the Goodness Initiative, USA universities, colleges, and schools are the leaders of the world health system. The unique and amazing thing in our initiative is transforming universities to a research center was starting a few months before January 1, 2020, the first case of COVID-19 enlisted. Note 5. The Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club, all found in all over the world, are financially and technically be supported by the former students of the school, college, and university. Professionally assisted by the Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club USA. Note 6. The Goodness AI and Robotics Health Clubs found in all African, South American and Asia counties will have supported by the immigrant community from the West. And for more information our main page is our resources site are The Goodness AI and Robotics Health Club.
Ooh, hey, We've been fighting for the world to come together in one voice against pandemics. Even before COVID-19 came around, this has been a mandate uniting people all over the world. We won't stop working until the future is safe again. No more pandemics, only goodness for all to see. The goodness is here to stay until the future is safe again. We will come together and stand till the future is safe again. Break the walls that separate us, let's come together. It doesn't matter what you believe. We are all of the human race, prone to the same fails. What affects you affects me. We won't stop working until the future is safe. No more pandemics, only goodness for all to see. The goodness is here to stay. The goodness is here to stay. Oh yeah, oh yes we will, and stay safe again. here to stay until the future is safe again. We will come together and stand till the future is safe again. Ooh, hey, We've been fighting for the world to come together in one voice against pandemics. Even before COVID-19 came around, this has been a mandate uniting people all over the world. We won't stop working until the future is safe again. what separates us, let's come together. It doesn't matter what you believe. We are all of the human race, prone to the same fails. What affects you affects me. We won't stop working until the future is safe. No more pandemics, only goodness for all to see. The goodness is here to stay. The goodness is here to stay. Oh yeah, oh yes we will. And stay safe again. Let's all come together. Let's all come together in one voice. Yeah. Ooh, let me do what I gotta do. If we stay, the goodness is here. The goodness is here to stay. We will stand together and stand for what we believe. Yeah. The goodness is here to stay until the future is safe again. We will come together and stand till the future is safe again.